Hello, fellow educators and bilingual teachers from all over the world. Welcome to this video in which we continue to tackle questions from the TKT CLIL test and answer them one by one. This is practice 11, which means we're working with the 11th task in the TKT CLIL test. And we're going to contextualize this a bit when we start the video. But you may be wondering, where are you taking those questions from? Well, from the sample test that you can see on the screen. If you need to download this test, you can go down to the comment section below. You're going to find a link not only to the test itself, which is made available for free by Cambridge, and the answer key to the test. And I highly recommend that you try to answer the whole test yourself before or after you watch the videos. And while you're going down to the comment section, don't forget to stop for a little bit, for a minute, by the like, and you can press like on this video, and also the subscribe button to make sure that you subscribe to our channel and give us some more audience here, okay, to help us out. And thank you for your audience so far. So let's move on. So questions 65 to 70. For questions 65 to 70, match the teaching instructions to the learning strategies listed A through G that they aim to develop. Okay, so this is a question about learning strategies. Mark the correct letter A through G on your answer sheet. There is one extra option which you do not need to use. So the focus here is learning strategies, and they are A, setting learning goals, B, using visual prompts to aid memory, C, facilitating auditory learning, D, identifying key information, E, risk-taking, F, organizing learning, G, seeking clarification. And the teaching instructions are things that the teacher tells the students to do. Again, this is task 11, which is the third task, the third and last task in the third section of the TKT CLIL test. Let's look at this in more detail so we can understand, not get confused. So the third section of the TKT CLIL test is called lesson delivery. And this is what we can see here. Lesson delivery right on the screen, right? This section of the test has 3 tasks. This is the third one, a total of 20 questions, and this particular task has 6 of them, 6 of these questions. And of course, since we are talking about learning strategies here, of course, this is a task about methods to help learners develop learning strategies. It's quite obvious, right? Because we don't need to be looking for what area of knowledge we are focusing on now. It's very clear. So what are learning strategies? Well, if you go to Kay Bentley's book, the book that I recommend at the end, you're going to find that learning strategies are the ways learners choose to learn new subject content. For example, memorizing or drawing images are common vocabulary learning strategies. Sometimes we can see learners using strategies as they work, for example, underlining key content vocabulary. But sometimes strategies can't be seen, as in, for example, making associations between language 1 and the target language. So here we have some examples of strategies that learners can use before a task. Selecting and setting learning goals, deciding on criteria to measure how well the task can be done, analyzing the task, its purpose, and what has to be done, working out timing of stages, so how long each stage should be. This is a list of examples of strategies that students can do before a task, can use before doing a task. So let's see strategies that can be used during tasks. Let's read until drafting. Identifying key content vocabulary. While students are reading, they can identify this. Predicting meanings of content vocabulary and predicting text content. Most readers do that. Guessing meanings of new words, asking for clarification, paraphrasing, and drafting some work. Before they write, they can draft what they're going to be writing and turning in later, etc., etc. Feel free to pause the video and read the other ones if you need more examples. And strategies that can be used after doing tasks. Well, deciding how to remember new words and concepts, making visual prompts to help memory, to aid memory, reviewing work alone or in small groups, exchanging work with a partner and asking for feedback, comparing work with previous work and deciding how it has improved, editing work, summarizing work, etc., etc. So If you go through the question, it's very straightforward. The teacher has instructions for students, and then we have learning strategies. Let's match them. So the task is to match instructions to learning strategies. What's the strategy here? Start from the teacher's instructions. Determine what the students will be doing from those instructions, and then connect that action to the strategies. That's a very straightforward path, but it's important to know where to start from instead of just be looking for the learning strategies and wasting a lot of time. No, just go to the instructions and see what each one of them refers to. So let's try this out. So what does the teacher tell the students? In number 65, the teacher tells the students to divide their math notebooks into separate sections for different topics. So when the teacher is asking the students to divide here into sections, of what is the teacher asking the students to do? We have letter A, setting learning goals, B, using visual prompts to aid memory, C, facilitating auditory learning, D, identifying key information, E, risk-taking, F, organizing learning, G, seeking clarification. Well, dividing math notebooks into separate sections is definitely an example of organizing learning. Most math teachers ask students to do that because math is a subject that sometimes involves steps in solving a problem, for example, and students can better succeed at this when they organize their learning. So 65, letter F. 66, write the keywords in their geography notebook and illustrate them. Well, if the students are writing words and illustrating, they're getting written language and associating the written language with visuals. So using visual aids to aid memory. That's letter B, because the students will illustrate the words by making drawings. So that's a visual component. 67, ask for help whenever they have not understood how to record data on graphs. So to ask for help, when you are asking for help, you are seeking clarification. That's G, that's the only option here, right? By asking for help, students are seeking clarification. 68, write a list of the things they want to achieve in economics by the end of the term. Again, the students will decide what they want to achieve, and they're going to monitor their progress throughout the semester to see if they have achieved the goal. By talking about goals, we're talking about A, setting learning goals. That's a very good example of setting goals. 69, express their ideas about protecting the environment even when they are not sure of all the English words. So when you're going to express ideas without being sure that you have the vocabulary for it, you are taking risks. That's part of learning. You learn when you take risks. So that's a very good example of risk-taking, letter E. In number 70, read their keep healthy advertisements aloud to themselves at home. Again, they're going to read to themselves. So by reading to themselves, they're going to be listening to themselves. So they're going to be facilitating auditory learning. Because when you vary the way you learn, you add a visual component, an auditory component, you're maximizing the input. And maximizing the input, you're maximizing retention and memory. Right? So we haven't used D, identifying key information, but we've used all the others. I hope this has been easy. I hope I haven't gone too fast, but I'm also trying to show that this is much less complicated than we think. Analyze what the students are being asked to do and determine from the list which option best relates to the example that is being given. And again, I already cited some text from the book by Kay Bentley that I'm showing you here. Make sure to take a look at this book and buy it if you think it's useful. I don't get anything from it, but it's just a good book. It's worth recommending. In the Handbook for Teachers by Cambridge that you see on the right can be downloaded for free. Just click on the link in the comment section. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video to help us out with some audience here with some points. Okay? And if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to check out the recommendations that we're giving you at the end of this one, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.